don't miss out. Get on Steam right now and press that request access button on the Chrono Odyssey playtest page. If you're possibly interested in testing this game, that's how you're going to do it. Very simple. You've probably done it hundreds of times for other different games, or maybe not hundreds, that's a little bit dramatic, but you've probably done it other times for other games, and now Chrono Odyssey can be added to the list, so go ahead and do it. Let me explain what's happened. So basically, on Twitter, on these behind the desk entries that you've seen, we did one just yesterday, they were talking about here, you can see like a little post here, it says the Steam playtest and how it's going to be like hidden or visible. This is the sign-ups, obviously, for the Steam playtest. And then Jenny's like, oh my god, he actually did it. So this was a very like soft way of announcing that they now have that request access on the Steam page. Now we do know that a beta is coming. A closed beta test is the phrase that they keep using, and I'm assuming it's closed via this methodology. We know that this is coming, and honestly, I'm thinking the date for that might get announced at Summer Game Fest. It might be around about then when they announce it. Obviously, I don't know when it will be. I'm kind of assuming it'll be maybe July, August. And you might be thinking, Jay, what do you mean this game's not coming out for a while? Well, I don't know if you saw my video yesterday, but they did another behind the scenes desk thing, and I'll kind of let it play through. But as you can see here, they're just doing this drawing. Everything looks kind of normal. But then right at the very end, they kind of like slide over and it shows a date. And you might be like, oh, that again, Jay, that's innocuous. It's not really anything important. Well, yeah, but then they make it like, oh my God, we didn't mean to show you that. Which to me, I think strongly again suggests that they think the release date for this is 2025. Is that too soon? I mean, is that hubris? I don't know. Only time will tell. But I do think now moving towards the beta announcement, well, a beta sign up, I think that's again another sign that they are planning on this year. It's another side of confidence, if you will. Like they're ramping up. It's not like they're going to put the test out in the wild and then announce a date. It sort of feels like they're going to have a very like short, boom, here's everything. Here's a date for the test. Here's a date for the release. Boom, let's just go. I know you know that a lot of people at the minute simply don't really know about Chrono Odyssey. They don't care about Chrono Odyssey because they don't really know too much about it. All they've seen are some Korean MMO footage in a trailer. And we've all been bitten by that before. I'm maybe thinking about you, Chrono Liberty, where you told me it was action combat and then it was literally a game that played itself. Now, thankfully, some of us have already played Chrono Odyssey, and I don't think it's going to be that. I think, it is what they say it is. It does appear to be an action combat MMORPG. And I'm, for one, very excited about that. And now being able to sign up for the beta does imply things are moving forward at a pace. I think once a lot of people actually get their hands on it, people have posted first impressions and all that kind of jazz, perception will change, the public will decide. I mean, the game itself is obviously nothing like Dune Awakening, but Dune Awakening had the IP, it already had a developer that had made it like an MMO before, or an MMO light with Conan Exiles. People have a expectation when it comes to like Funcom and Dune. With Chrono Odyssey, it's obviously a little bit different. Nobody knows too much about it, but once people start seeing it and playing it, maybe then you'll actually get real opinions. People will get excited, even if you don't press that button. Once you start seeing people play it, things will change. And I suspect the marketing will change. Maybe they'll ramp that up as well. But right now on the surface, I get why people would be a little bit like standoffish, right? I just spoke about Funcom. They possibly have a little bit of a reputation for a little bit of jank. I'm not saying it's fair or it's unfair, but that's a reputation that they have. Korean games and Kakao as well, they have a reputation of possibly having like pay to win in their games. And I don't fully think that that's completely unfounded. Like every MMO before it, this game at the start is at least claiming that there will be no pay to win. And I don't want to prejudge something just because it's happened before. It's very, very, very good to be cautious, right? It's very, very, very sensible to be like, hey, I'll wait and see what they're actually doing. I completely get that. But I always think about like the sins of the father. I don't necessarily blame everybody who's come before these Korean developers to then assume that these people will then be doing the same thing with pay to win and egregious pay to win. I don't assume that. Because they've actually been saying there's going to be no pay to win in the financials, kind of believe it won't be like super egregious. I don't think it'll be as bad as say like Chrono Liberty. And yeah, that's what I honestly think. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I understand your reluctance. Hopefully the game itself can prove you wrong. I guess wrong is a little bit harsh, but you know what I mean. Hopefully the game itself can demonstrate it's a worthwhile game and worth your time. And the main way of finding that out is to hit that request access button and start playing it. Then you can finally make your own decision. Not much more else to say really. I've just been rambling about this access. It's just how do you sign up? Well, you press that button right there. Make sure you do it. Don't miss out. If you are interested in Chrono Odyssey and you want to keep up to date with every little bit of news info, as soon as it happens, you know, at the minute, I don't know if there's a better source. If there is, let me know. I'll steal their information. No, I'm kidding. But, you know, like, subscribe. Have a most beautiful day. Goodbye.